Attention, your paradigm is about to shift at the intersection of fact and reason. You're entering Kingston Country.
I'm Dan Kingston, and you're listening to the Dan Kingston Podcast. Today, the lockdown in Wuhan is reportedly being lifted, and residents are allowed to leave their homes. Although it's still dicey over there, authorities are checking people. It's an authoritarian regime. That doesn't go away. It's still China, the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, in control over there. But what happened in Wuhan? What about that Wuhan Level 4 Biolab? That's right. The only one in all of China just happened to be located smack dab in the middle of Wuhan, just a few miles away from the supposed epicenter, that seafood market. This Level 4 Biolab was known to be studying bats that had coronavirus. You got reports of scientists getting peed on and bitten by bats. This is all in the public record, okay? You don't got to take my word for it. You can look this stuff up. Why this is being covered up at every step of the way, well, I'll let you take a guess on that one. So why was this allowed to happen? Because American scientists, world scientists, years ago warned that this would happen, that China could not be trusted with a level 4 biolab because of the lax culture of that country in terms of reporting bad stuff. They have a cover-up culture over there. For whatever reason, they cover stuff up, and they've been doing that since every major outbreak they've had, right? I mean, H1N1 and SARS, that bird flu, right? That the same thing happened where the Chinese authorities covered it all up. And here we are again. What's happening at that Wuhan Biolab right now? Did they learn their lessons? Did they stop experimenting with coronavirus in bats? Well, maybe now they're experimenting with coronavirus in cats and dogs and pigs and ducks. Yes, you've heard me right. They're injecting coronavirus into cats. They've released a study that found cats are susceptible in the laboratory setting to COVID-19, but that the virus produces poorly in dogs, pigs, chickens, and ducks. They did euthanize the kittens, and they were kittens after they were given COVID-19. Either they died of COVID-19 or they were euthanized. They were not allowed to live. You know how China treats animals over there? But that's besides the point right now. I think why is China, why is that Wuhan Level 4 Biolab allowed to continue testing coronavirus on animals when by all accounts it looks very likely that this virus leaked out somehow from that Level 4 Biolab? The Chinese scientists themselves released a report in the Lancet that was immediately taken down that said, hey, maybe these biolabs shouldn't be located right there in the middle of a major metropolitan city, right? I mean, you got millions and millions of people living in densely populated areas. That's where you put your level 4 biolab? I mean, they shouldn't even have one to begin with, but if they're going to have one, at least put it out in the rural communities. And that's coming from Chinese scientists who, who the hell knows where they are now. That doctor, who shed light on the coronavirus COVID-19 back in the beginning, months ago. The first doctor, the Chinese doctor, he was silenced. You know this. I'm saying this, all the stuff you already know, but he ended up dying of coronavirus after he was silenced. And now the CCP is turning him into a hero, saying, rewriting history, that he was listened to, that he was respected. No, they silenced him. They told him to shut up. And then they probably whacked him. I mean, come on. Either that or maybe he did die of COVID-19 heroically. Because one thing they don't tell you, by the way, is that it's not just like if you get a tiny amount of a virus, you're less likely to get infected. I think this is an important point. This is also in the New York Times. It's not just, misinformation. Everybody wants to say that I'm spreading misinformation when, in fact, if you're listening to me, you would have had the best information from the beginning. But that's besides the point. So let me get back on track. Talk about this tiger. Her name was Nadia. It's a 4-year-old Malayan tiger. Tigers are big now, because of the Tiger King, if you've seen that show. Pretty good, actually. But this tiger has a dry cough some symptoms of COVID-19. So they gave her a test. I mean, who knows? You can give a tiger a test for coronavirus. You can't even get a human a test for it, but you can give a tiger a test for it. And the tiger tested positive. So now I guess cats, they got that study in China where they're infecting cats with coronavirus. And look, the cats, they're susceptible. But of course, if you're forced coronavirus down a cat's nose, look, all the research is saying that it's not easy for the cats to spread it to a human, if it's even possible. But, the cats can spread it among themselves, I guess. I mean, don't throw out your cat on the street. I mean, don't be heartless, There's no evidence right now that your cat can give it to you. That's not kind of the intention of this podcast, was not to make you fearful of cats. It's to make you fearful of the Chinese Communist Party that's doing grotesque experiments in animals that might, have it mutate again, so that maybe you could get a deadly version of this from your cat by the time the Chinese are done with it. Of course, that's probably in their thinking. Is it wrong to ask that question, by the way? Could this have been an attack? I mean, why is Beijing in the clear, but every other country's capital got hit? I mean, how were they able to prevent their sick from flying to Beijing, stopping the disease from spreading there? But they have no way of stopping their infected from flying around the rest of the world. I mean, these are questions. Why? Why didn't they stop people from flying around the world if they knew they were sick? They let sick people board the airplanes and go all around the world. It's the only explanation for it, right? So are you concerned about your cat having coronavirus? I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't kiss your cat or get too close to the cat anyway. And people that lick their dogs, let their dogs lick them, I should say. It's disgusting. The dog's mouth is not cleaner than a human mouth. I know they say that, but that's only if you exclude feces. And you can't, how do you exclude feces from that equation? I mean, we do not, I hope by and large humans are not eating poop. Dogs do. So don't kiss your dog, don't kiss your cat, and you're going to be fine. By the way, dogs, it looks like it reproduces very poorly, the virus does in dogs, thanks to this grotesque, inhumane Chinese study that we know that. It's unreviewed, so take it with a grain of salt anyway. But now that combined with a tiger that tests positive, 3 other lions and 3 other tigers also, they all, so 6 or 7, I guess, big cats in total, look like they're showing symptoms. They didn't test all of them. It's not easy to test a big cat for coronavirus. It might be the last test you give if you don't do it right. Incredible creatures. If you've seen the Tiger King, that show. And, I'm a kind of a cat subject matter expert when it comes at least to domestic cats. I got 2 of them, as you probably know, but they're the mascots of this show. And I do feel pretty confident in my ability to handle a big cat based on the experience I've learned from handling small cats. They're the same. They're not that different. In fact, I caught one of our cats, I think it was Miko. Was it Miko? He was watching the tiger show with us. Kind of interested in it. They also watch a screensaver of dolphins swimming on the screen. Cats are smarter, I think, than dogs because they're hunters. And I know you probably disagree if you're a dog person. I like dogs too. The dogs are good. The dogs are more loyal. But cats are more of a hunter kind of independent type. You disagree with that? I could do a whole podcast on that. I think maybe I already did. So what's your take on this whole thing? Do you think we should have a national lockdown? Do you think that the Democrats are by and large cowards, that they're insisting, throwing away the Constitution over what's, it's a very bad cold, right? Coronavirus, it's the family of colds. That's what this is. It's a deadly cold, 0.66% mortality rate. So the seasonal flu is like 0.1%. I don't know. What's a seasonal cold? What's the mortality rate on a cold? Isn't a cold the same thing as a flu? They're all kind of the same, right? I don't know. But I think we are right now kind of overwhelmed by all the medical doctors playing TV show doctors for us. And they're drowning out all the other experts. You don't hear from economists. You don't even hear from your elected officials anymore unless maybe it's Cuomo. That's the only person we're allowed to hear from is Cuomo. Gavin Newsom is a complete embarrassment of a politician, of a human being. God, he makes Cuomo look like a genius, doesn't he? So how are you feeling about your elected representatives? I mean, I feel like most of them have let us down. I think most of the officials have let us down. Where are the face masks, by the way? You know, you can make your own. But they were telling us for weeks, they said, you don't need it. You don't need it. I wasn't saying that. I was saying you should probably get a mask. The sooner we all come to grips with this whole thing, like wear masks, get the temperature checks, that's when we can go back to business and reopen the economy again. So I don't know why all you aren't asking for that and demanding it from your representatives. But it's not worth throwing out the Constitution because we don't have enough masks. I mean, geez, they're willing to throw out the Constitution and go into martial law. They're basically wanting a national lockdown after months of saying that Trump was a tyrant, a dictator, who was going to take over the government. Now they're begging him to. Now they're saying, please, Daddy Trump, lock down the economy and save us, Daddy Trump. What an embarrassment. And this is coming from the party of intellectuals. Ones who are ready to throw out the Constitution. How am I doing today, honey? You like my podcast? She nods. She looks scared. I don't know. She might not be listening. She has her headphones in. I don't know. So if it was a Democrat, we'd definitely be living under martial law right now. That's for damn sure. And that's what a national lockdown is. It's martial law. The Constitution allows for it in the case of invasion. And I guess you can make the case this is a coronavirus is an invasion, a Chinese invasion, a Chinese Communist Party invasion. I think this could be an attack. I think they need to look into it. Are people spreading the disease on behalf of a foreign government? I don't know, but look at the videos out there. People spitting and spreading their germs everywhere. Why aren't there police in the supermarkets? Are we treating this like it could be an attack? Are we investigating it? I hope we are. Because again, Beijing somehow got away scot-clean. And the rest of the world, I don't think any other city did. So, I don't know. Doesn't take a rocket science to put that one together, does it? Hong Kong also reported one cat has tested positive for coronavirus. Just anecdotally, our cat kind of got sick, by the way, a few weeks ago. Shortness of breath. But, maybe our cat had coronavirus. I don't know. If your cat was kind of acting like they had coronavirus, and would you, throw it out on the street? Like they wouldn't over there in China. In China, they would just throw it into the frying pan, right? Oh, the cat's sick, got to eat it. Oh, no, that's racist, Dan Kingston. Okay, well, look at the video. Don't they have the video out there of the dog being boiled alive in China? So if it's so racist, why are they doing it? So there you go. I think I've said enough today to get removed from Apple Podcasts and everywhere else where you might be listening to me. Listen, if you could share this podcast before it gets removed, tell a friend, subscribe. We're going to grow this thing, and we're already growing very fast. We're rated on Apple Podcasts routinely, but I need you to help spread the word. If you thought this was a helpful podcast episode, if you think I'm asking the questions other people, for whatever reason, aren't asking or aren't asking hard enough, well then, do me a favor and tell a friend, tell a family member, and take care of yourself.
Kingston Country. You've been listening to the Dan Kingston Podcast.